But it's a daring bluff. It's the kind of a bet that really, I think in Shannon's mind, he believes that he is daring Chris to fold an ace. On the other hand, as I say, these guys know of each other that they are very aggressive and often out of line. Chris is going to give him some Hollywood, but hard for me to imagine Chris would be calling this bet with a straight draw. He's facing a call of about 100,000 chips, but the pot is just over 2. Barry Greenstein teaches this play. Wait for the turn to launch your semi-bluff, and it is a lot more convincing that you actually have a hand. Chris folds.
Can you sit that last card after?
Real nice play from Shannon.
Gotta see it.
Real nice play. Chris wants to go rabbit hunting. They won't show him. They won't show him the river. He wants to know whether his straight would have arrived. Well, that takes Shannon right up to close to 300,000 chips. You've got Chris, the big stack, and Shannon in second place. 2 small stacks and a medium stack trying to chase down that man, Chris, the lumberman Cornell from Tennessee, who still holds a dominating lead over second place Shannon Shore, and then Troy Otto and Eric Baldwin trying to get back on the saddle and back in the game. The 2 small stacks you see at the bottom of your screen in the 1 and 9 seat. The button is on Chris Cornell, our leader. Eric folds. Chris with an ace-3 of hearts. It's a strong hand, short-handed. He will raise. Makes it 12,000 to go. Ace-queen. No hesitation. Troy moves it all in instantly.
Call.
And Chris calls in the blink of an eye. Troy's in great shape. That's where you want to be. Get your opponent at 3 outs. You have him dominated. Troy's in great shape here, looking to double through. Oh, 3 on the flop for Chris Cornell. Bad luck for Troy. Now the roles are reversed, and Troy will need a queen on the turn or the river, or he will be eliminated in 4th place. Deuce. That does give a flush draw to Troy. Any spade or any queen. Troy asks, is there justice in Canada? This is why he's a crowd favorite. Wears his emotions on his sleeve. Enjoys the game. Needs a queen or a spade on the river. No. A big round of applause for Troy Otto. Troy Showtime Otto from Michigan. The 4th place finisher for a payday of $43,146. The rich get richer. Now a big stack, a middle stack, and a little stack. Eric Baldwin now in the sights of Shannon and Chris.
Dead God, I've been dodging this dead man's interview for a long time. Is this where it takes place?
When we started the day, the biggest round of applause goes for our Canadian Charlie Flick, but
There
the
we
second biggest round of applause goes for Troy, because you've been putting on a show here for a few days. You've been a lot of fun to hang around with, a lot of fun to watch. You're a fun player to play with. You're so much fun, and frankly, modest and enjoying the game so much that Captain Tom Franklin adopted you.
I took captain's order there on the last hand and just was play for all your chips and get it in, and I got it in really good shape. I don't know what I don't know what the percentages were, but
right.
If I double up, I'm right back in
with the best of it.
Yeah, I gave myself a chance. Never gave up, and I went out on a bad beat, so that I can live with that.
Okay, because now you gave your wife Lindsay a big hug.
Right.
I see Captain Tom over there. Do you want to go give him a hug too?
Probably not. I might shake his hand.
Okay.
All right. Thanks, Dave.
Hey, thanks. Nice meeting you. You're really easy to cheer for, Troy.
All right. Thanks.
Cheers.
When you're playing a full table of 9 players, obviously the chance that somebody else has a good hand is quite good because you have 8 opponents. When you have only 3 opponents, well, you don't need quite as good a hand to get involved because the likelihood is less that they will have a good hand. You'll see more hands played, a wider variety of hands played. You'll see them played aggressively. Ace 8s, ace 9s, small pairs, all go up in value shorthanded.
That's the man to beat right now. Having a good time, and why wouldn't you be? You're leading the pack and headed for that almost $150,000 payday. Ace King for short-stacked Eric Slow and Steady Baldwin. I call him that because Eric has done a fantastic job of playing patiently. 15,000. He's played his short stack to perfection. He's waited for his opportunities, and when they have come, he's got his chips in with the best of it. He's done a fantastic job of playing with patience. He's made it 15,000 to go here in the big blind. Shannon's going to move all in. Eric, of course, will call in the blink of an eye with Big Slick. He's like Troy. He's got it in great shape. We saw Troy Otto get unlucky against Chris Cornell. Can Shannon Shore this time be lucky? Eric's in awesome shape. Shannon's down to 3 outs, 2 shots at it. He's picked up a straight draw now, though. Shannon has 11 outs, any 3, any 8, any 6. Queen of clubs. Eric's going to double through. Patience has been rewarded. That takes Eric Baldwin's stack right up to 200,000 chips. An approximate chip count would have Eric at 200,000, Shannon at 200,000, and Chris Cornell at 600,000. Eric Baldwin in 3rd place right now, and he is the button in seat 1. Small blind of 2,000, big blind of 4,000, and a 500 chip ante. There are 7,500 chips in the pot to start the hand. The next player out, the 3rd place finisher, will receive $57,528. Then there's a big jump to 2nd and a bigger jump to 1st. Ace 5 offsuit for Eric. And on the button, Eric calls. Ace 4 offsuit for Chris, who calls. And a Queen 3 of clubs for Shannon Shore in the big blind, who will check. Fairly rare that you see a 3-way pot, but we have one here to the flop. Everybody's caught a piece of it. Chris has flopped 2 pair. Shannon has flopped bottom pair. And Eric has flopped top pair. This is going to be a troublesome hand for Eric. He's got top pair, but of course he's in huge trouble to Chris's ace 4. Check, check. They both check to Eric. He bets out 12,000. Does Chris want to close the deal right now, or does he want to set the trap? Chris calls the 12,000 with his 2 pair. This may even entice Shannon to join in the fun here. He's got a pair as well. He folds, however. To the turn. Queen of spades on the turn. Chris with his 2 pair. And Eric with 1 pair and a kicker problem. Chris checks, and Eric is going to bet 20,000. Now what does Chris want to do with his 2 pair? He's going to raise. He has waited until the turn to spring his trap.